Hello dear one, thank you for watching these recipes. My cookies. So this particular cookie is for the connoisseur. It's called anisbrotli. These are anise cookies. And you know, Germans make them 2 weeks before you have to eat them. They are delightful. Yeah, I'm not a biggest fan of anise, which is, it has licorice flavor. But I swear, when you try them, they are delightful. They are delicious. They take no butter. There's plenty of egg there, and they have a little bit of the chewy consistency. I'm gonna make them in the round bowls, into the round bowls. They are delicious. Watch the recipe. Very simple. You need 4 or 5 eggs. So I already cracked mine, and I'm gonna dump them into my magic processor. When I say 4, if you buy jumbo eggs, ginormous ones, then you probably only need 4. If you buy normal large eggs for baking, then you need 5. And 500 grams of powdered sugar. 5 small eggs or large eggs, American language, and 500 grams of powdered sugar. Beat this all up together, and then once they, oops, sorry, she was not fit. Now, it asks for 1.5 teaspoons of anise. So this is anise flavor, alcohol-free. And 1.5 teaspoons sounds like a lot. Don't be scared. You know what Germans and Swiss do? When they bake these cookies, they put them in airtight container to bloom the flavor. So before they're eaten, they sit in airtight containers for 2 weeks. These women, German women who bake these traditional cookies that are passed from generation to generation. Every housewife in Germany and Switzerland prizes themselves on these cookies. These are wonderful traditions. Some of these cookies you cannot get it even if you pay a lot of money. You wouldn't get the recipe for it. Pinch of salt. Always pinch of salt. And a little more for good luck. And then they want a teaspoon of Kirsch. Kirsch is basically the cherry vodka, German. I do not have Kirsch, but I used to always have Kirsch at home growing up. It was in the bar, and I remember the bottles of Kirsch. What I have is a moonshine, and it's made out of cherries, and I will add a teaspoon of that moonshine in, and just as good as Kirsch. If you don't have any of that, plain vodka, brandy, whatever you have, whatever strong 40 proof alcohol is good. And then I'm going to give it a mix and add 500 grams of flour. Let me measure it. Now, these cookies are quite soft, so I do like to throw it into the freezer just to give it a little more shape. Anise. Making the balls and press them. We can press them later, but because I already have one variety of cookies that are round and they're whitish, I'm gonna make these a little flattish, like such. You can even make the bowls, and the bowls are inch size. I like uniformity. They're fairly small, and I just press them, and occasionally I'm gonna wet my hands so they roll out nicely and don't stick. They'll get a little bit of a shine. This is it. This is how they look. Little buttons. And as you see, I choose, with the exception of a few cookies, I choose very frivolous shaping design that lends very nicely to working with children. Or in any group setting, this is so forgiving. You can have a group of people who could help you do these. And as I mentioned, these cookies are baked in advance, maybe 2 weeks in advance. When I put all of my different cookies in the bag, they permeate each other with fragrance. So it is quite a gift to unpack, unwrap. And I feel these are also extremely special in them. All right, they're done. A little Watson, and then I will put them in 320-degree oven. And remember, these are mostly egg whites, so they are a little chewy. They have a very interesting texture, but depending on your oven, and I keep saying this, but really every oven is different. 15 to 20 minutes. I'm gonna start at 15, and if I feel they need more, I will put them back in. But they're sort of like, I hate to say meringues, but they will have a little bit of crust, and inside it will be nice and chewy texture, airy. I'll show you when they come out. All right, so they are done. I made a mistake. I put them too close. They will melt. Maybe freeze them a little bit before you bake. They put them too close, and they sort of, I had to separate them. I'm gonna bite and show you how they look. They're a little chewy. You can barely know that it's anise. It's transformed in the bacon. Put them a little further apart, and once they bake, take them off right away, because they tend to get hard and stick to the sheets. So take them off right away, and I'm going to cover them and let them just bloom inside. And that's it. They're simple, but they're delicious.